How is it going, Apex community? Team trials. Yeah. Again, it's another tough track, this one. To give you an idea of how tough, about 113 starts before I got 2 full laps and set a time. Yeah, it's a difficult one. Not for the reasons you might think. It's a difficult one because, well, let's take a look, shall we? This one is difficult because the start. You have to nail the start. Like, super important to nail the start. And it's so tough. So you've got this little sliver of real estate to work with to nail that start. You're coming off of here, you're literally sliding between these and aiming for that sort of that little section of track there. So sort of top left, I guess. Oh, that was a bit bad. There's a little corner at the top left that you can kind of sneak your way through. So this bit here, and then a kind of a semi-flattened out kind of roll maneuver. So over here, you don't want to roll it. You don't want to roll it completely. You want that roll to be relatively flat. So as you come over, keep it kind of flat, and if you can sneak in there, brilliant. That's just a simple pre-turn. Take it as close as you can, kind of drifting your way the whole way around here. And this entrance, I always used to find this one really tough. So you're coming out of this hole here, over that box, and through that. Now, I always found it really difficult because the door's in the way, right? But what you have to remember is that hole is always there. It's just that the door is blocking you from seeing it. And I know it's kind of difficult when you can't see something to sort of line it up, but it's one of those kind of leap of faith things that you just have to kind of remember it's there. This is just a simple loop. Probably, oh god, man, simple loop, he says, and crashes immediately. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's a good spot for a bit of grinding, a bit of training and stuff, kind of tightening your loops up, because it's very easy to cock this up, to overshoot it, or to kind of come in and just kind of underplay it, I guess. So kind of you're kind of rotating too soon, or like it's very easy to muck this up at speed. Obviously, if you're freestyling, it's not too big of a deal because you've got all the time in the world to kind of do what you want. But yeah, very easy obstacle to mess up. So bear that in mind. This I like to come over backwards, mainly because it helps me stop. So I'm coming over it backwards, and I want to stop to sneak underneath, because most of the time, if you're coming through here on a fast run, the train will be there, and there isn't all that space. So you're coming over, you really need to sneak it down, or you will get collected by by that train. So coming over here, coming down, and then just literally back it in and down. Pre-turning these, again, is another great spot for sort of drilling yourself on switching back. As a poor example, but sort of switching back and forth between left and right hand turns and kind of just tightening things up. Again, remember that the doors are always there. You know, you might not be able to see the exits that you're going for, but they're always there. So if you can really nail these turns, kind of start pre-turning them like that, you'll really line yourself up for a solid time. I think a lot of people lose a lot of time with those doors. This, you want to be entering sideways, flat and sideways. Flat is the important part. It's very easy to kind of roll through, but then you're kind of running the risk at 47 degrees of camera angle that you're going to be unable to kind of correct, and you'll end up flapping back and forth as you do come through. So come through there sideways but level. Really don't be afraid to kind of push it through. And then at the end, well, yeah, I mean, the reason I say you want to be pre-turning, actually, if you're coming through straight and then turning, there's so many things that you can hit. You could either end up in this middle part, where it's incredibly difficult to end up coming out. Like trying to hit that gate coming out of that middle part is just not going to happen. Similarly, there's also those sort of broken glass windows as well, which I think you can actually fly through. Yeah, you can, but you don't want to, because that's just going to muck your time up. Again, pre-turn this, you want to be coming out of it backwards, and just know, I mean, the more you fly this track, the more you'll get a feel for where that next gate is. But if you're coming out of it backwards, you're already there. You know, you're looking at it, you can just punch it straight away, and just kind of immediately smash into that next gate. And again, pre-turn that to the left as you go into it, because the line takes you out of this door on the left hand side. Now this next bit, normally I wouldn't go and show you guys a second lap, but I feel inclined this week, because this is awful. Like, again, the start, you've got to nail the start, but you've also got to nail lap 2. And as you can see, we've got to come through and navigate all of these pillars and things that are all in the way, very much so, and sneak through here again. So my tip, you can see in here, let's try and land, right, land on the other side, right, that's gonna have to do. You can see here, you've got the start lights, but one on the left, one on the right. The one on the right, you can see, is on the racing line. So not only do you need to sort of train yourself to follow that racing line, but you can, I find you can pick out that green light almost sometimes easier than you can sort of see the racing line, because the racing line kind of disappears as you come through. That green light, if you're going over the top of that green light, you are in the perfect position to absolutely smash this gate. Just remember that as you're coming through at full speed, you don't want to be going too high out of here, because that'll lose you a lot of time. Just try and still kind of keep it tight. Again, that's always the way, is just fast, tight, you know, tight, fast lines. Lots of pre-turning without crashing, and just generally kind of thinking like a gate or two ahead. And then of course the finish, I mean, really you can just kind of you can just full send into that. It's never going to be absolutely perfect. You will smash it a good few times, but there you go, 6 minutes 58. That's going to take some beating. I can see Shreds has already beaten me on this track. Damn it, I'm gonna have to grind this one out for sure. But yeah, I tell you what, here you go. Let's spectate, shall we? FPV of my personal best. There you go. So you can see we're kind of tight. I mean, that was a bit loose around there, sneaky through there. Not really pre-turning those a great deal, but sideways through there, backwards out of there. Full send through here over the green light, trying to keep it low, pre-turning that. I can see already watching this back that there's definitely room for some additional kind of tweaks to this lap, but that's where the grind comes in, you know. I set this time yesterday, so literally on day 1 of this being the track for the week, so it's never going to be my fastest lap, and I'm sure you guys appreciate that. But you can, again, watch your replays. That's another good thing, to be fair. It's another good tip, I guess, is watch your replays and evaluate, you know, how you did, and see where you can make up some more time, and then use that to your advantage. Go to that spot, fly around it, fly the route, you know, a few times. I never would suggest, until you're fully confident with going full stick, full send the whole way, I wouldn't recommend constantly restarting. And I say that because really it's, I know it's counterintuitive. You want to get the game done and you want to set your times, and if you're not starting and full sending straight off the block, then you're not setting a time necessarily. But there's a lot to be said for grinding out a time or rather grinding out sections of the track to really get familiar with those, and then linking them to other sections. And you can't really do that if you're just restart, restart, restart. You'll nail the start, and that's a great way on this track to learn the start, but you won't learn that second lap transition into the same area. So you can take that, you can take that looping first gate off of the start blocks, but can you take it from coming outside of the building and going into the building? Probably not. You're going to end up hitting the pillars that are actually behind where the start podium is. So it pays to at least first learn the track, learn the sections. Then when you're fully confident at that full send, let's go, by all means hit that space bar. God knows I do. Anyway, look, guys, I hope that was useful. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, if you haven't already, check out the solo guide this week. It's a little choppy. This is probably choppy as well, so I can only apologize. My PC is just absolutely cacking its pants this week. It's not having a good time. I'm working from home, so it's pretty much on all day, and I think it's just cooking itself. So, yeah, that's a thing. Anyway, look, guys, as I said, hope you enjoyed. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, all the usual nonsense. Drop your comments below if you've got any questions. I am Faisal_FPV on Instagram. Jump into my DMs. I'm more than happy to chat anything through with you guys if you've got any questions. Or just comment on my photos and stuff, because that's what most people do, and we have a good chat. Anyway, look, as always, fly safe, fly fast, FLYAPEX, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later.